Greetings, peeps. Welcome to week 2 of the fall semester. I hope all of you had a bodacious Labor Day weekend, that you had some time to get out in the sun and experience some beautiful weather and have some good times with friends, with family. I hope you had a wonderful and restful long holiday weekend. If you had to work, I apologize. I know how that feels. But nevertheless, it is time for us to get back to things, so here we are. So one of the things that I want to make sure we're understanding is that you must purchase that online text. Now, it appears that just about everybody in the class has. In fact, I can't think of anyone right now that doesn't have it that's on my roster. But we may have had a few last-minute ads that I don't know about it or have not registered the text yet. So please, if that's you, please go ahead and do this so that we can not have any more lag time in between turning in assignments. Another thing that some people appear to be confused about is the assignments are on your online text. The assignments are simple. It's the reading and it's the answering of those questions, and all of those questions are multiple choice. We're going to talk about all those in just a minute as we delve into our online text, but please understand your online text is extraordinarily important. I know some people had some issues in the beginning. If you're still experiencing those issues, please get in touch with me as soon as possible. You might also note that I've extended the deadline, the due date for our first section, to September the 23rd. It was September the 16th, a week from this Sunday. I've extended it another week to the 23rd to give people who are just now getting into the text some more time to read and complete the assignment. So please understand that's what's going on. The first podcast is going to be airing for you very soon. I will send out notification when that is viewable. But please understand, this first podcast is a recast. It's a podcast that was created last year for this same course for different students. And I'm going to ask you specific questions about what you're watching and listening to, and we'll talk about those in a discussion topic that's dedicated just for this purpose. So just watch for it. You'll be notified as soon as that becomes available. Okay, so now let's take a little bit of time and do some little more in-depth study of our online resources that we're using, namely e-learning and our online text. I realize that many of you have already done this and you know what to expect, but please just go ahead and do this. And then after that, there'll be a lecture on our first chapter about the introduction to the humanities. So just stay tuned, but do watch this little presentation on how to navigate around e-learning, and also how to complete assignments on our online text. Okay, so I hope this is helpful to you. So just give it a watch. Okay, folks, let's take a look at navigating around e-learning and our online text. Now, I realize that this might be secondhand and old news for most of you, but for those that may just be joining us and those that might still be experiencing a little bit of confusion with respect to navigation around our e-learning site and our online text, well, this should hopefully help to clarify some things. Okay, so once you log on to e-learning and you click on our course, IHU 101 or Humanities Through Art, you should come to this page, which is the course's home page. And this is where I'll have news and announcements, obviously. I just wanted to bring to your attention, there is what's called a brief calendar down here on the right. While that is somewhat useful, it really does not apply to us. I would encourage you to utilize the detailed course schedule, which is on our e-learning site. So give yourself that luxury of taking a look at this calendar, because this is really the one that matters and shows start and end dates of all of our assignments. Okay, so also on the contents tab, you have the link to our online textbook. Now, when you click on this module down here, it brings you to this page, and you can click on this link, and that will bring you to our online text. And once you've entered your email address and your password, you may be brought to this page, which is the to-do page, and you might see something that says, no assignments are due in the next 7 days. Check your classes pages for upcoming assignments. Well, that's because, remember, I do have due dates set kind of far into the semester, so it gives everybody time to complete them. So what do? You come down here to our classes, right? And you come down to Humanities through the Arts. You don't need to go to archive classes because you shouldn't have any archive classes. Okay, so it says, for me, this is not for you, it says, your courtesy access to this class will expire on September 13th, 2023. Do you want to purchase access right now? If you have not purchased the text and you've been using it for this trial period, this is the window you might come to, and you should purchase the text at this time. I'm clicking no because I already have the text. I don't need another one. Then you will come to the assignments page. Okay, this shows everything that we're doing. It has several different options for you to choose from, namely each section's assignment, and so forth. So since we are using, currently right now we're in section 1, and it is going to become due on September the 16th, which is 1 week from Saturday. Let's just take a look at what goes on there. So come on over here, click on this little blue arrow or this little blue tab, and notice how it sort of spells everything out for us. The SmartBook 2.0, assignment details, and so forth. Let's go to continue. When you click on that, you'll be brought to this page, and it gives you some things to consider. Number 1, when the assignment is due, the duration, estimated duration of how long it will take you to complete the assignment, and the content, which in this case contains 19 concepts. And you have some choices down here. You can go to our text, or you can start the questions. Well, for now, let's go to the text. Obviously, this is talking about the stuff that we want to read about. And notice how it has some things highlighted for you, which I think is pretty amazing, actually. So, and it's showing you all the stuff that you need to learn, and you can flip through the pages. Art, commerce, and taste. Now, the section in question, of course, is an introduction to the humanities, and I'm going to be giving a lecture, within this same video here about the topic that we're talking about. So you can watch the lecture, which sort of references the texts here and there, but the text contains largely everything that you're going to need to answer these questions. And then, of course, it contains also pictures, right? And it contains these perception key questions, which are the questions that you're going to be looking at for this particular section. So what I encourage you to do is to look at the art, study the art, read the captions to the art, and then read what they're talking about prior to the illustration, so that you have a grasp of what they're talking about. And then if you continue on about abstract ideas and concrete images, and it's talking again about more things, more stuff. Again, I encourage you to read the stuff that is highlighted, because that pertains to the perception key questions that you're going to be asked to look at. Okay? So once you get through all of the reading and into the summary, then you can go to the questions. Now it says here, to make progress by completing the concepts, the number of questions will vary depending upon your individual needs, which is also pretty clever. It's okay to get questions wrong. You still earn, get this, 100% if you complete all concepts to your due date, by your due date. Okay, that's great. That just means, submit your answers by selecting your confidence level. This will not affect your grade. Okay, so this is a pretty cool way to do things. It says here that the humanities are distinct from mathematics and the other hard sciences, mainly because the humanities focus on, and then you have some choices, significantly measurable elements of human history rather than advanced calculations, or the nature of theology rather than the studies of exact sciences, or ideas and research rather than measurements and exact comparisons. And then finally, measurement and exact comparisons rather than studies about humans. Now, in my estimation, that last answer would be wrong, right? Because it's asking about measurements and exact comparisons rather than studies about humans. So let's think about this for a second. I would say that any of these other answers could be right, because seriously, the humanities, the arts, they can mean many, many, many different things, as I talk about in my lecture. So I hope that this sort of eases some of the tension for some of you, because your thoughts should be individual, right? Your thoughts should be your own. We don't need to have cookie cutter thoughts. Now, obviously, if you are asked a specific question about a specific work of art, or you're asked to give a specific fact about a specific work of art, which, by the way, I don't think you're ever asked to do in this text at all in any of these questions. But if you were, then yes, of course, you would want to try to give the correct answer. But seriously, the study of humanities, and particularly arts through the lens of the humanities, is really a what do you think type of conceptual questions. Not, I don't want dates. I don't want exact figures. This is what do you think? And through our discussion topics, we're going to be learning exactly what you think about specific works of art, particularly musical works of art. And you'll be asked to participate in some of those podcasts, because I'm going to ask you to ask questions of the artists that we're going to be featuring. So hold tight. Those are coming up. It's going to be a little bit. They're probably going to start in the month of October. So I encourage you to take advantage of our online text, because it is a really good text. And again, these questions being designed to be tailored to your answers. What other textbook does that? So please give yourself some space, give yourself some time, and do answer these questions to the best of your abilities. Again, I say unto thee, yea, verily. This section, the first one, ends on September the 16th. That's a week from this coming Saturday at 11:59 p.m. And then section 2 begins the following day at 12 in the morning. That would be what is a work of art and what does it mean to be a critic of the arts. And I will have another lecture series available to you discussing that topic. So hopefully this has been enlightening for you. I also wanted to make one more mention. It is perfectly fine for you to keep 2 windows open or more. If you want to make like a reference page or some other type of page that has your notes, if you're a note taker, if you decide to do something like that, you are welcome to do that. I believe we should use any and all tools that are available to us. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, once again, folks, peeps, I hope that this is helpful to you and informative. If you do happen to have any questions, I welcome your emails, and I will be participating in the discussion topics as well, although I have not had a chance yet. You are welcome to comment on my discussion topics. Anything that I throw out there is fair game. So I hope so. Okay. And I hope you will, that is. Okay. So I hope you had a marvelous Labor Day weekend, and I look forward to working with you. Stay tuned for the lecture, please, and we'll see you soon. Okay, so I hope that was an informative look at our e-learning site, navigating in and out, and also our online text, how you can navigate around it and to submit your assignments. If you are still having issues or have questions, please email me and I will do my best to resolve them for you. Now let's take a look at what we're asked to do in section 1. Essentially, folks, as the title says, it's an introduction to the humanities. Well, that begs the question, what are the humanities? Well, here's the thing. We're looking at that subject of humanities through the lens of art. Now, art can mean many, many things, and so can humanities, right? The study of humanities deals with the human element or the human condition, if you will, how humans respond to certain things like art. I'm not going to get into the communications aspect of it because we've already established that music is a form of communication. I think we've discussed that it's a language. But so is art. Art communicates thought, it communicates ideas. However, it's that perception of art that we can't really put a definitive on it. One work of art may affect an individual in one way, and another individual looking at the same work of art, they're affected completely differently. So imagine this idea of the humanities through the lens of art as something that gives you an opportunity to be a little bit introspective of yourself and how you view art, because you're hopefully a human being, and how it makes you react to it. And let me interject this here. Your reaction isn't always positive, or it isn't expected to be positive. You can have a negative reaction. In fact, ladies and gentlemen, we could skip ahead here to a musical component of this course, in that there are composers throughout history who composed music not because they wanted the listeners to fall in love with the music. No, they just wanted people to react. They didn't care whether you liked it or not. What they cared about was that you reacted to it. And you'll find the same type of, I guess I'd call it appreciation of the patron or perception of the patron in artists, right? People who paint, people who sculpt, people who design, beautiful buildings and architecture. Some of them do so and they don't really care whether you like their work or not. What they care about is that you have some type of reaction, whether it's negative or positive. But necessarily, in our study of humanities, it's the study of values. How we value works of art. What type of value do we place on them? Do we place any importance on them at all, or are certain works of art more valuable than others? How do we make that assessment? And your book breaks these things down into some very definitive areas: art and commerce and taste, right? Those are three things that really are interlinked, but they're also very separate. If we talk about art, for example, if I just mention, I'm a lover of art, well, the first thing that might come to your mind is, he's got a lot of paintings in his house, or he has a lot of paintings and sculpture in his house. But just being a lover of art doesn't mean that that's what I'm limited to, physical paintings or sculpture. It could mean I'm a lover of the arts, for example. Now, arts can be divided into a couple of different categories, right? The visual arts, which obviously are the things that we see, right? We could also say the performing arts is another category, where you go to see a play or a movie or go to listen to a concert. Those are considered to be the performing arts. I submit to you that they're interchangeable. I believe a work of art, a painting, is a performance. I do. It's a performance every time you look at it. And if you continue to look at it, you're going to see different things and perhaps see it in different ways. The same is true of a performance. The difference in a performance, and I'm talking about live performances, by the way, not recordings, because if you listen to a recording or watch a recording, it's the same thing over and over again. There's nothing new that's going on. But if you attend a live performance, the entire experience is the performance. The entire experience, from the concert hall that you may be in, the performers that may be performing, where you're seated in the auditorium or wherever the concert is, that all becomes part of the work of art and part of the communication. So we can't just simply say art is this and art is that. We have to be more eclectic than that. We have to be able to be more open-minded than that. Commerce comes into play. Well, obviously, we buy and sell, don't we? We are a species of people who buy and sell things, goods and services. We've been this way for thousands of years. That's just how things work in our society. And art is not immune to that realm. Art is bought and sold. Music is bought and sold. Every time you buy a ticket to a concert, you are part of the commercial aspect of it. Taste, talk about subjective. Think about it. I mean, you can't at all be limited to another person's tastes. You have your own tastes, your own likes, your own dislikes. So when we are looking at these works of art within our text, when we are discussing these perception key questions, and by the way, that's a great word, perception. You're being asked to base your answers on what you perceive. You as an individual, you as a human being, how do you perceive it? And these works of art that you're looking at in your text are wide and varied. And they should be. Indeed, they should be. So I want you, when you're looking at these works of art, just don't skim through them. Please take some time to study them a little bit and think about how it makes you feel. How does it make you react? And again, I don't expect everyone's reaction to be positive. I don't expect everyone's reaction to be negative. But I think all of you would agree that there are works of art that you can go to a museum or an art gallery. There are performances. You can go to a concert or perhaps listen to a recording that you have a negative reaction to. And think about why you have that negative reaction. What is it about the piece, whether it's a work of art, a painting, a sculpture, a building, or perhaps a song or a concert performance or a theatrical performance or a ballet or something along those lines in the performing arts, quote unquote. What is it about it that you don't like? Because that's what makes us human. We are certainly not expected to just conform and like everything, although many people do. We need to be able to express why we like something or why we dislike something. Now, by all means, if you like the art, that's great. That's wonderful. But I'm saying to you is that you don't have to. That's not the expectation of this course. You probably already noticed, if you've answered some of these questions, that the questions are largely what do you think type questions, as I described in the online text section of this vid. There's no wrong answer. You're not going to get marked down if you answer something that doesn't seem to conform to the normal, right? Your answers are your answers. That's one of the beautiful things I think, about this course and this text design. So please, the downfall of that is, if you know you're not going to be marked down for answering incorrectly, well, then sometimes the adage is to blow it off. Well, that's up to you. That's entirely up to you. If you want to blow it off, just answer, click, 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 click. None of it matters. That's up to you. You're, I think, cheating yourself, because you're not allowing yourself the experience to really understand and delve into what it is that we're doing. But again, that may be you. That may be your particular way of life. And if that's how you get through life, that's how you get through life. But be advised, you will be expected to think and answer and ask specific questions towards these podcast artists. And I will expect you to watch their performances and give a detailed analysis or description of what you heard, and then think about a question you would pose to the artist. So I hope this has clarified a few things about our course and how this course is working. Once again, if you're having difficulties with the online text in any shape or form, or any of the material in our online text, please get in touch with me. Watch out for those discussion topics, because they are important. We do need you to do them, okay? So have a wonderful week, folks, and I will see you soon.
Love makes me treat you the way that I do. Gee, baby, ain't I good to you? There's nothing too good for a girl that's so true. Gee, baby, ain't I good to you? I bought you a fur coat for Christmas, a diamond ring, a Cadillac car, and everything. Love makes me treat you the way that I do. Gee, baby, ain't I good to you?